Hello everyone and welcome back to Alteryx Tutorials. I am Mark Thompson with Watermark Data. This session is going to be about weekly challenge number 138. And in this challenge, we've got a bunch of information about the Baseball World Series from 1903 on through 2017. Now we want to take that information, and it's all kind of written up here in the description. You're welcome to read it. But what we want to do is we want to break that down and get it into a format that shows by team how many wins they've had in the World Series, what years they won it, the percentage of games that they've won through the course of their World Series, and the percentage of World Series that they've played in and they've won. Let's go ahead and jump on in. We're starting out here with this file. And the thing to keep in mind is our end result. We want to identify the teams and the wins, the losses by the year. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean up this information. And that's what this whole series of tools to start off with, begin with. Our first one is a filter, and it's simple. Is not null. Let's get rid of them. So we're going down from 115 to 113 records. And then we've got two text to columns that effectively do the same thing. We need the winning team and the losing team. We don't need this information after it, this open paren 1, 1-0. We don't need that. We don't need that over here on the losing team. So we're splitting the winning team, and we're doing two delimiters, a square bracket and an open paren. We use the square bracket because somewhere down there lower in the information, some of these actually have a square bracket after them. We're going to break it into two columns. And when we do that, you'll see out here at the end, we've got winning team 1, winning team 2, where winning team 1 is just the team name. And the winning team 2, this piece that we don't care about, is sitting over there. Then we do the exact same thing with the losing teams. And you can see the losing team and the losing information out here. We're boiling it down. Let's go ahead and clean up anything. We capture all of the fields, and we're replacing nulls on these. We're replacing with either blanks or zeros, depending if it's a string or a numeric, and we're getting rid of any leading or trailing white space in any of these. And those of you who have watched my videos know that I just like to clean things up and keep them organized. So I throw on this select tool from the prep menu, from up here in the preparation menu, and that get rid of all of these other fields that we don't need. Then we're left with the year, the winning team, the games, and the losing team. Now we want to take these games, and we want to split them out into wins and losses. And we'll use a column select, split, a parse, text to columns as it's called. And we're going to do it on games, and our delimiter is a dash, and we're doing it into two games. You can see we've got the games, the wins, and the losses. We don't need that column labeled games. Get rid of that. And we're going to rename these columns the game 1 and game 2 of the winner wins and the winner losses. This is how many the winner wins and the winner loses. Next, we're going to do something that's a little bit clever. But before I get into that, I had a question about somebody who said, I typically take and I use the comment field to create my backdrop. And I do like this, and I expand over what I want, and I right click and I send to back, and I come down to here and I give it a color, and I tell it as data, and I get something that looks like this. And they say, couldn't you do that with containers? Yes, you could. There are always more ways to skin a cat. So if I highlight these and then I say add to container, and I could come up here and go as data. And I could tell it, I give a fill color here, and boom. And the next thing you know, here's what we've got. And it looks almost like the other one. And now this does have the advantage that you can move this around and all the tools come with you. I can shut it off if I want to, and even minimize it if I want to. But what you do lose is a little bit of flexibility in terms of you can't do anything with this font. You can change its color, but you can't change its size. So if you wanted to make that bigger, you can't here. The other thing that you can't really impact is you've got different margins. Right now we're on small. I could go to none and tighten it up just a little bit, and it looks very close to my box. However, if I wanted to drag this bottom edge down and give myself some more space to include something else in my box, I couldn't do it. So you lose a flexibility on making the boxes because they have to be symmetric. And you lose some flexibility on how you write out the name. But you gain some flexibility in the fact that the tools come with and that you can shut it off and you can minimize it. It's a trade-off, whichever you like, and they both work. Continuing on. From here, we've isolated down our columns that we want to work with. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to split this into two channels. And what we're doing here in this formula tool is we're effectively replicating. So we had here, we had the winner wins and the winner losses. These are the same columns. It's just the loser wins and the loser losses. So we're identifying by team, by the Pittsburgh Pirate. We don't want to lose those games, either wins or losses. So we keep them as a whole. Now we break it into two streams. One stream where we select and we get rid of the losers. And one stream where we select and we get rid of the winners. And then we summarize each of those, and they're effectively identical. Now we group by team. So we can see that the Baltimore Orioles, remember we're in the winning stream right now, the Baltimore Orioles had 3 wins in 66, 70, and 83. And they had 12 wins in that time and 2 losses. Pretty good. We come down here and we see that we've got the losers, and we summarize and we say, okay, Atlanta Braves, they've got 4 losses, 91, 92, 96, 99. They had 7 wins during those 4 losses, 4 series losses, and they had 16 game losses in that time. Now we're going to join them back together. And we've got these joins, and you'll notice I've got a union tool after it. That's because in some cases, you're going to have teams that only won. When they made it to the series, they won. Florida Marlins been there twice. They won both times. They're not going to join up because there were no losers down. They didn't have a losing record down here. Likewise, down here with the losers, there are some teams that have made it to the series and never won it. And for example, the San Diego Padres, they've been there twice in 84 and 98. They had 1 win in those games and 8 losses, but they've never won the series. So they've got 2 series losses. We want to join that all up, and then with a union. And so now we have the team, the right team, the winning years, the wins, the losses, the losing years, the losing wins, losing losses, and the win count and the loss count of the series. Next, we do a little bit of a cleanup. Again, we want to get rid of nulls, and we've got trailing spaces. Then we're going to throw a formula tool on here. How many games overall did a team win? So it's their wins plus their losing wins. Their games lost, their losses plus their losing losses. Then we come down here and we say how many games won, how many total games won over the games won plus the games lost. So games won plus game lost, total games, how many games did they win? And you can see that we've got a column down here with our game winning percentage. And now we're doing it with the series where we've got the win count over the win count plus the loss count. That gives us how many series they've won. Next, let's get rid of the columns we don't need and clean it all up. So we've got the team, how many wins how many times they've won the World Series, the winning years, and notice Milwaukee Brewers, 0 win counts, 0 winning years. They've won 43% of their games, but they haven't won any World Series. Next, and this was my own choice, I decided I was going to sort this in descending order of win count. Must be nice to be a Yankees fan. They're up there at the top. They've been to the series and won it. They've won it 27 times. They've got a 60% win rate of their games playing in the World Series, and they've won the series 68% of the times that they've been there. I am Mark Thompson. This is Watermark Data. That concludes our session for today. As always, please hit like, please hit share, and we always welcome your comments. Look forward to the next time. Thank you.